Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for Aries in mid-July 2019. Hello, Aries. What's going on? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys, mid-July. What a joke. I had all intents and purposes of getting these messages out last week, but yeah, my upload schedule has been shifted, working overtime, doing private readings, all this other kind of stuff. So ultimately, I couldn't get around to it. Here we are at the tail end of July getting these messages out for you. So if you would like to bend the time a little bit, kind of consider this the late July, early August time period, you may do so. Time is fluid, kind of doesn't even exist if you really think about the grand scheme of things. It's just a perception that we have here on Earth. But whatever, that's just my philosophy on it. But that's the long roundabout way of saying I apologize for getting these out so late, guys. Additionally, there was a break between, I think I did, what did I do? I did Sagittarius on Friday, or was that Thursday? I can't really remember, but a girl has been sick. A girl has not felt well. A girl was in bed all day yesterday. A girl had to reschedule stuff. So I am feeling a little bit better today, but that was also kind of a thing that happened, so here we are. Anyway, Aries, that's your main spread there. Shuffled off camera to sort of save time. On camera now, I will shuffle for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they are lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can check for the timestamp in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. You can also look down there to find the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Follow the steps. Everything's peachy keen. But if you have a question about anything before you place an order, or if you want to qualify something, clarify something, you can email me and I will answer you just the same as if I would respond to you if you were purchasing an order, okay? All right, Aries, let's get into this. I want to see Aries' outcome for mid-July, please. Please show me Aries' outcome for mid-July 2019. Please show me. Whoa. Whoa. What are you doing, Aries? I feel like jumpy or like skittish or something. It's like here but not here. What is that? Guess it doesn't matter until the card comes out, or it doesn't come out. Am I picking? It's all over the place. Man. Oh. Aries outcomes mid-July 2019. Mid-July 2019, please show me. Pick. Okay, thank you. They're like, enough of that. Pick. Boom. There you go. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. These repeating cards. You know it's a retrograde when the cards start to repeat. Let's see what came face down for you, Aries. Well, now, I will tell you, I did make a comment to one sign previous to you that the majority of people have had a lot of major arcanas in their main spread. You only have the one. I don't know if that means anything, but there's just something about maybe potentially less of a influence on your reading today, but we'll find out. We'll see. I could be wrong about that. All right, please show me where Aries is in mid-July 2019, mid-July 2019. Please show me Aries. Okay. Ooh. Wow, that's kind of intense. And that would make sense. Okay. All right, Aries, coming into mid-July, you've come in mid-July, early August, however you want to think of it. You come in with the Sun card, Major Arcana, the Sun. Secondary Major Arcana for Leo. So some of you might be dealing with a Leo or have a Leo in your life who is significant, but you do not have to. And the card reads, life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and an inspiring success. All right, so moving on up to the east side, huh? That's just a random thing that popped into my head, but maybe literally some of you are moving because we are thriving through, well, we're thriving through the power of positive thinking, but then there's also this sentiment of success and feeling wonderful. So some of you are ascending in some type of way, you know, increasing in something, or something is coming to you that is like swelling you or filling you with joy and happiness, right? The sun is really auspicious. The sun is really beneficial. There's not much negative to say about it. And I asked where you are. So this could be you. You could be the sun in someone's life. You could be bringing them joy. You could be, you know, sort of the highlight or the bright spot in their life or in their day. But it's really a card that speaks to like deep contentment and like, I'm feeling like fidelity here, because you see the sunflowers in the card, right? On either side of the horse and the angel there. It's the unicorn. It's not a horse, it's a unicorn. My bad. But, you know, and sunflowers follow the sun. They turn, their flower turns in the direction of the sun. Yeah, so there's something about devotion and following through, or you know, walking that righteous path. That's a little loaded, and maybe potentially quite an ego boost for some of you. So let me go ahead and pull you back down, because it's not to say, even though you love to hear it, it's not to say whatever you're going through or whoever you're dealing with that you have the upper hand or that you're right and that there's no wrong thing you can do. Everybody has an off day. There are times when things aren't, you know, literally going to be so sunshiny in your life, but for the time being, Aries, it feels pretty damn good to be who you are. It feels pretty damn good to be where you are, or it's going to feel pretty damn good where you're going to be. Yeah, something about progressing and moving and just like charging forward or following through. Like I said, following, devoted, so following through on something, and then we get rewarded. Then we see things start to take shape or come into play, and it's just like this nice, I don't want to say mellow, because I think you're very aware of what's going on, and I think you're acting with intention. The thing about the sun is it's auspicious, but it's not serendipitous, or rather, it's not coincidental. You know, the sun doesn't happen just cause. The sun happens because we've put in work previous, or we're due for a glow up, due for a little bit of positive reinforcement because we've sown the seeds to something, right? The sunflowers are growing from the work you've put in previous, and now you have this lovely garden, or what would you call it? It's not a meadow. There's a lot of greenery around, I know that. And there's like trees, so there's just like a lot of flora involved here, a lot of flora. That's all flourishing and nice and pretty. It's a little muted, or it's not as bright and shiny as we might expect the sun card to be, but there's fruitfulness here, yeah? So maybe that's it, like you're moving towards something, or you're evolving into a certain playing field that's going to be incredibly fruitful for you. Promotions at jobs, new relationships, renewing relationships, getting to a healthier spot in your diet, in your daily routines, sleeping more, able to enjoy your downtime more, leisure time, whatever. I feel that there's just this lovely positive turn for you. And, you know, like I said, I feel overwhelmingly this is good. But do not expect it to last, because that's life. Life comes in cycles, it ebbs and it flows, yeah? So for the meantime, Aries, enjoy it. Stop and smell the roses, or in this case, stop and smell the sunflowers. You know, indulge yourself a little bit. You know, if you are doing well on your diet, you know, have a little, you know, ice cream on the walk home from work, or the walk home from the train station from work. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you reward yourself along the way. Don't linger in that energy, okay? Tentative caveat here. Don't linger in that reward, but realize and be able, you want to be, or make sure you're conscious of taking the time to appreciate your own hard work, okay? And if you're not the one doing this, you need to do that for someone else, okay? If someone else is the sun in your life, you need to remind them of that. You need to tell them how much they make you happy, how happier you are that they're in your life, how, you know, you love your connection, you love working with them, you love being married to them, you love being friends with them. It's just like this real kumbaya kind of energy with this, and people need to be aware of it. If you have that in you, if this like joy resides in you, and someone doesn't know that, hey, this relationship that we have fills me with joy, or I have joy to share in this relationship, you have to, you know, sort of let it out. You know, the sun is not a contained energy. It shines over every part of the earth. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can't keep it all to yourself. That's kind of a deep feeling here. I don't know why this AC has been on so long, but it is kind of chilly in here. Anyway, so what else is going on here? A lot of things have been let go. A lot of things have been let go. Which one? Because we're, yeah. No, I don't think they're together. Are they together? I don't think so. No. Which one then? Okay, thank you. Because I was like, I know what that's going to be. I know what that's going to be. All right, so 4 of Gabriel, right next door to you, aka 4 of Wands. Time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work, release yourself from burdensome situations. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. What were we talking about with the sun right next door? And this is all fire energy, you know, again, Leo being secondary of the sun represents, you know, fire, the element of fire, and then Gabriel being Wands, aka fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So there's a lot of passion behind whatever's going on in your life right now. You might be one of the rare signs that during this Mercury retrograde and the super duper retrograde of like however many other planets, you might actually be the one, so far, at least in my readings, it feels it's mostly positive. It's mostly outward. A lot of people are having a lot of inward stuff. This seems much more expressive and expansive. I don't know what's going on specifically astrologically with Aries. You might want to look into it, or if you already know, you kind of might be getting confirmed in something in this statement. But with your 4 of Gabriel, you know, for many of you, this is about a partnership of a type. You know, lover, friend, family, coworker, business partner, creative partner, I don't know. But it's about this in tandem, working and building towards something, constructing something, making something firm and solid. It's really about, you know, solidifying plans or solidifying ideas. It's about cementing something. You know, I'm like seeing, you know, like when, you know, people, what's that, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, when people put their fingers, or their hands and their feet in the cement, making a lasting impression, making a lasting, not memorial, but, you know, it's like leaving this long-standing impression, or like carving names into a tree trunk, like how people used to do. I don't think people do, I mean, I don't know that people, no, young people most likely don't do that anymore, but so it's just like this, I feel it. And when you do this Hollywood Walk of Fame thing, or the carving the name in the tree, it's a statement. Yeah, with this 4, we're making a statement, you and someone else. We are this, we are doing this, we are about that. We will be moving here, we will be saying this, we will be speaking here, we will be creating this, we. Lot of you and someone else. Regardless of any type of relationship, Aries, there is something about a partnership, and you guys are really on the same page right now. So the time for celebration, you might be attending a wedding, you might be getting married. Oftentimes readers will say the 4 of Wands is one of the wedding cards. Maybe an engagement. Maybe talking about getting married. Few of you are actually getting married. Well, I'm just going to be honest. Few of you are getting married like today or whatever day this is, yeah. But many might be laying the groundwork, like I said, foundations, like setting the stage for what it will be like when we get married. So engagement, some of you are wedding planning in the moment, or at this moment, things like that. And release yourself from burdensome situations. I don't know when and where, but when I was talking about that sun and how this is a sort of a time of reflection, you know, stopping to smell the roses, the sunflowers or whatever, it's like giving yourself a moment to breathe, you know, take a breather, or, you know, really appreciate what you've gone through or what you've been working on. I feel these two in tandem are really encouraging that. A little bit about movement, very little. So some of you might have a vacation, or maybe you've recently been married and now you're headed towards your honeymoon, like planning the wedding, getting it off the ground, making sure everybody was on time, not late, make sure that the DJ was there, the caterer, It's just like a headache, right? A headache and a half doing that kind of stuff. And now that you've done that work of putting on this grand celebration of your love with you and your husband, you and your wife, you and whomever, now you get to bask in the glory of just being alone with each other and really, you know, walking into this new world of being newlyweds. Like, man, we really are doing this. It's like a quiet awe, a quiet, like, taken aback feeling of, oh man, this is working out. Or, oh man, look at where we are. Look at us. Look at us. Some of you are like going across, you know, to different countries for your honeymoon. Some of you are staying domestic, but it's just like a glowing feeling between you and someone else. It's very romantically leaning. You can still apply this to friendships and family relationships where, you know, you've gotten through a trying time, you know, a disagreement with your brother or sister or something like that, and now you guys have come out on the other side after, you know, a deep discussion, or, you know, burying the hatchet after however long of being distant, and now you come back together and you're like, ah, man, we should never have parted. Or, you know, again, cementing a creative idea. We're going forward. We've signed with the publishers. We've signed with, you know, we've signed with this particular company. We've sold our product. We got on Shark Tank. We were successful. Whatever you're doing, it's really nice that you're celebrating a union or a reunion in some cases, okay? Very cool. Now, what the problem is, this is a little problematic. Are we going there? Slightly, just slightly problematic. Ah, okay. Okay, thank you. Because it's above. Got it. Well, I picked this up. Hold on. Is this it? Or is... No. Okay, thank you. So, what I'm feeling for both positions, you're kind of having a past and present reading. And if you guys know, I don't ever really intend to read linearly, but sometimes that's just how they take me in the reading. So what I'm seeing is, here's the foundation where you are now, the new ground that you're breaking with the Four of Gabriel and the Sun card. Somewhere in your mind, in your consciousness, aka above you, it's in your head, it's recent. Yeah, you have a eye line on these two cards. First, you have the Queen of Michael, aka the Queen of Swords. I'll read it to you. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. So in the reverse, maybe some of you, especially since this is your starting point and the only time that I really feel that there's other people is here in the Four of Gabriel. So for you, Aries, you may have recently spent a lot of time focusing on your work, focusing on getting certain projects, you know, completed, and it may have taken away from certain relationships back home, family, friends, lovers, it does not matter. Or your relationships within work kind of took a back seat. You know, maybe you spent a lot of time burning the midnight oil, staying late hours in the office, and people are like, hey, come out for happy hour, or hey, we're all going to go celebrate blah, blah, blah's birthday down in the cafeteria. Do you want to come? And you're like, ah, I'll be down. And then, like, you know, by the time you break away from your desk, everybody's come back upstairs with, like, you know, food goodies and stuff like that. And you're just like, oh, I missed it. So a lot of you, that's a long way to say a lot of you were basically checked out. Okay. Which makes sense. The Queen of Swords is not an emotional, very feely, very lovey-dovey, cutesy-wootsy type person. Not very effusive. Queen of Swords, very swift, very logical, very rational, is very much mind forward, heart way in the back, way in the back, way in the back, okay? So this is turned around, no pun intended since it's in the reverse, which is there's a de-emphasis on that energy, on that caricature, or those characteristics. So some of you, for whatever reason, whether you came up with the idea on your own or whether someone around you was really encouraging you, a lot of you have stopped putting in so much effort outside of your relationships or outside of the connections that you have with people, yeah? Or a lot of you now that you have accomplished what you set out to do with that Queen of Swords energy, which is, again, being so fixed and focused on something, getting it done. Not in the practical, you know, by the book way, but being focused, or being, for lack of a better word, void of any emotions as to not be distracted. Yeah? This is the ability to remove the subjective feelings from yourself in order to see yourself through a certain situation, right? Now, so what does it say here? The benefit of experience, right? So you've experienced what it's like to put in hard work and see it come to something. You know, now, like I said, you've set the stage for those who were like recently married or are about to be married. You've put in all of your energy and time and money and concentration into location, catering, guest list, dinner menu, blah, 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 and getting it all done. And then making sure that we've got the dresses, making sure that we've got this, making sure that we've got that. Boom, 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 boom. Efficiency. There's efficiency as well with the Queen of Swords. So now that all that is done, we can turn her upside down, put her to bed for a moment, or for however long she's going to be in bed, because, you know, that's not your suit. Aries, you're a fire sign. This is Swords, so that's air sign energy, so it's not really your home turf anyway. But we just put her on the shelf. Thank you very much, Queen of Swords. You've been very helpful. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You know? And now, like I said, in your present moment, you get this sun where you're reflecting on, oh my God, our wedding went off without a hitch, even though it was a pain in the ass to get us there. It was so much stress. It was so this, so that, blah, 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 blah. Or you've sold your product, you've sold your idea to the company, you've been able to patent something or trademark something, and it was so hard, whatever. She helped you get through that. If it's not your own energy, it would be a person around you, or it could be a person around you, I should say. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe. They don't have to be that sign, but this would be someone who's really like there to get the task done, and quickly and efficiently, you know? No, not much sympathy from this person. Oh man, I'm so tired. We should take lunch. Lunch is for the weak. Press on with the work. Yeah? But the division here is on a horizontal line. I feel that that's sort of in the past. You're able to reflect upon it. You're able to look back and say to this person, thank you so much. You've been so helpful to me. You've been so helpful in getting this project completed, etc., etc., etc. Or you're thanking yourself. You're patting yourself on the back, which I feel was here a little bit. I think I mentioned that, where some of you can actually know with confidence that what you did led to a direct result of positivity, of some type of positive progress. Progress? Where am I? The UK? No offense. Progress. You know? So that's a little tricky, because if it is another person, there's a chance that they might be a little dicey or icy towards you. They might not really want your thanks. You might embarrass them if you get up in a speech and say, you know, I want to thank the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords has been so integral to the creation of this, and the Queen of Swords gets you afterwards like, I can't believe you said that. I didn't need all that praise, because, you know, the Queen of Swords is not out here to be congratulated, just to do the job, get it done right, and move on to the next thing. Okay? Now, the other thing that might be a little dicey, sorry, I have something in my eye here. Hopefully, okay. Did I just make that worse? I hope not. Okay, I think I got it. All right. So the other thing that might be a little tricky is the Seven of Gabriel. But again, I think it is relatively in the past. It doesn't feel like it's upcoming, but I could be wrong. Let's get into it though. Seven of Gabriel, aka Seven of Wands. Let's read it. Stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence. Claim your personal power. This might have been in tandem with this dedication to the work, dedication to what you believed and have now been proven to be correct needed to be done. Like, you may have had to give someone some home truths, some harsh truths, laid down some very firm boundaries with someone, let someone know you were unavailable for all these other like social engagements, and that may have ticked someone off, or that may have hurt someone's feelings, or it may have disappointed someone. But for you, Aries, the bigger picture was way more important. No offense, don't mean to hurt your feelings, and you kind of come in and explain that. And you could be explaining that now. You could be explaining that to your partner, whether they're your, you know, romantic partner or not. You took it upon your shoulders, as an Aries would do, you know, roll up your sleeves, hold my beer kind of energy, which is, if something needs to get done and Aries feels that they're capable, Aries will go and they will do the damn thing without anybody's permission, without anyone prompting them, without anybody, you know, agreeing or disagreeing. Aries doesn't care, and Aries will commit themselves to a particular task. Again, if they believe they can get it done. If they're like, I don't know, Aries is less motivated. But if Aries feels capable, there's no waiting around, especially if you're under a time crunch, especially if you feel you have to get something to print, or something has a deadline on it, or you just simply are tired of fussing around about it. You're tired of beating around the bush. Let's just get this show on the road here. So probably, just to keep using this example, again, apply it to other areas of your life if this is not specifically what you've been doing. But for those who have been or did just plan a wedding, if there was a judgment call to be made between you and whomever else, maybe you and the caterers, and you couldn't get a hold of your soon-to-be spouse or your now spouse, whoever, about, you know, chicken or fish, or what kind of fish. Do you want the salmon? Do you want the halibut? Do you want the tilapia? Blah, 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 blah. And you were calling all day, trying to get in touch with your partner, trying to get in touch with maybe your best friend, whoever else. What do you think most people at the wedding would want? Do they want the halibut, the salmon, or the tilapia? And you needed to get it to the caterer like soon, like that same day, to clear it up, and nobody responded, so you just took it upon yourself to make that call. Put the tilapia on the menu. And then, you know, a day or two later, someone comes to you, your husband or your wife or whoever it's going to be, and they're like, oh, when did we decide that we want tilapia? Oh, remember when I was trying to call you on Wednesday? Like, I left you so many voicemails, and the caterer needed to know by 1 o'clock that day. You didn't get back to me, so I just made the decision. And they're like, but my mom hates tilapia. And you're like, well, your mom can eat chicken. Like, who cares? Not like that, but it's just like a, you know, a decision had to be made at the moment. There wasn't any time to negotiate. There wasn't any time to collaborate on this. So I took it upon myself to make that decision. And that might bum out your partner or whoever for a little bit. Your mother-in-law might look at the menu going, tilapia, huh? I hate tilapia. Okay, well, it's not your wedding, Barbara, so shut up. And that's not what you're saying. It might be what you're thinking, but it's not what you're saying. And so, in retrospect, or right now, you might be explaining that, you know, and then that'll be like a nice story to tell, you know, at future holiday parties, and, you know, little things that you and your husband or your wife can laugh about before you, you know, go to bed at night. Remember when we first got married and my mom was so mad about the tilapia? Oh my God, it was so hilarious. But in the moment, you're just like, listen, things needed to get done. We're not going to sit here and wait just because Barbara doesn't like tilapia and I needed her second best choice, or her, you know, out of the remaining 2 choices, which fit, like, there were other people. And, you know, there's a defensiveness from you, from someone else, that just says, all jokes aside, the shit had to get done. So, you know, what's the beef? But, you know, there is no beef. There's nothing to be upset about. So this is like a minor, like a little kerfuffle, or like a faux pas, maybe a little bit of a oopsie, or a little bit of an inconsiderate step that you or someone else has taken. But I think it can be sort of rationalized, or sort of quote unquote explained away, because she's right next door, the Queen of Swords, especially in that reversed positioning. She would be able to talk her way out of it. You know, talk her way out of a ticket. you know, talk her way out of, you know, being convicted for a heinous crime. So you see, Your Honor, the reason I couldn't have done it is because XYZ. And like, people are like, that does make sense, but you still killed a man. And she's like, yeah, but I had to, you see? Okay, so can we all go home now? So that's interesting. Anything else? Because you're having a strangely, like, linear reading. Because linear for me usually reads right to left. Maybe I was like, you know, Japanese in a previous lifetime. I don't know why, because I read left to right, obviously. But my linear readings usually go that way. But yours is like this. Yours is doing this horizontal thing. Or horizontal, excuse me, this vertical thing. I don't know. Yeah, and okay, thank you. Claim your personal power. There's that sort of, that quality of you, Aries, being staunch in what you believe, or in your partner you feel this, or if it's reversed, you would feel this way about them, is like there's a firmness, like there's a, in my hand here, I'm feeling like a staff and I'm stabbing it into the ground, and it's like, you shall not pass, you know, that whole thing. It's just, there's this firmness to your character, or a firmness to whoever made the call on the tilapia. There's just a firmness to that person's character that remains attractive, because right beneath it you have this really amorous feeling. So that ability to stand your ground, to not really buckle, or to make calls when calls need to be made, where, you know, it had to be done, there was a deadline, I did it, and we've moved on. The wedding was a great success, we're in love, your mom, she'll be fine. You know, it's just like, I love that you it's like someone is relieved. Like, I love that you took charge of the situation. I love that you were very staunch and stern and firm in what you believed, or firm in what you decided to do. Okay? Having quite a quick reading. Now, what's your outcome for this mid-July, early August, whatever this is? The Moon card, Major Arcana for Pisces. Some of you might be dealing with a Pisces. So it says, the opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition for accurate guidance, face your fears, and grow stronger. I'm not feeling this whole face your fears bit. I'm not really connecting with that. Face your fears and grow stronger as, like, maybe Aries, that could apply for a few of you, or maybe it applies for whoever did that, you know, firm call right here in the seven of Gabriel. It could be previous to now there was a little bit of a timid energy, or, you know, previous to now there was always this drive to confirm with people and really make sure everybody was accounted for and everybody's opinions were weighed properly in the situation, and then making this judgment call. That might be a facing of a fear, because I don't live it personally, but I know it is this way with many people in a family dynamic or friendship dynamics. If you exclude someone from a decision based on time, this decision had to be made by this time, you weren't available, so I decided for the both of us. That can really rub people the wrong way, or it could get people feeling like, oh, you don't value me, or you know, or you didn't know what I wanted, even though it was what you wanted. You know, it's just like, and then there might have been previous to now a reluctance to make those kinds of calls. So maybe that's the facing of the fear that you get, is like, you know, maybe you made that call and your mom is the one who didn't want tilapia, but you're like, given the guest list and given the price range, it's gonna be tilapia, Barbara. And your mom is like, why did you get tilapia? You know I can't, it's my wedding. Thank you very much. See you later, bye. You know, so there's like this standing up to your fears, or standing up to the things that maybe make you anxious, right? But as for anything else, I think you've already kind of been listening to your guidance, or listening to your gut, or listening to a trusted advisor, Aries. I think that you haven't been doing this solo work, except for like here, like previous to now. I think going forward, there's like this trusted sense of self that you have, or this person who's close to you. It could be your partner, could be someone else, that you're just like, I feel confident in what I'm doing here. Am I right? Your gut says yes, you move forward. You know, you're like, I feel pretty good about this. You go to your partner, what do you think? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure either. So there's like a symbiosis. There's like a meeting of the minds, or a merging of something where things are getting on the right track for you, and it's nice. You may not be able to always articulate that, put your finger on it. The moon is kind of mysterious in that way. It doesn't always come out clearly what we are experiencing or what we are communicating when we have the moon card come up. But I feel you're kind of at home in that space for some reason. I don't know why, because, you know, this woman, she doesn't look daunted that she's out there in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the night with this little Pomeranian and a raccoon nearby. Like, she seems very relaxed about her circumstances. And the moon often talks about illusions or delusions or things not being incredibly clear. And so maybe you'll grow into becoming clearer. And it is right out here. I mean, it's not connected to your main reading, but you do have the sun and the moon. And maybe that's why you feel comfortable. Because if you have the sun and the moon, think about it. If you have a concept of what the sun and the moon is in reality, if you were literally born yesterday and you came into this world as you are today, and you see the sun, you're like, oh my God, it's bright out here, it's cool, da 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 da. And then as night falls, it gets darker, and then the moon comes out. You might be scared shitless, but you're very much aware of both of these energies. You're aware of what you can see under the light of the sun, and you're aware of what might be a little more shadowy or a little more under the radar with that moon card. And I think didn't I say this, like a merging or symbiosis. You can control or tap into the sun and the moon both at the same time, or as you pick and choose. So some of you are learning the talent or the skill of discernment, when to turn it on, when to turn it off and be mellow, when to turn it up and be totally amorous and just so buzzed about life, and when to just relax and just chill out. You know what I mean? And it's all intuitively guided. These two are very much into what we know innately within ourselves. Yeah? I like that. I like that. I don't know why I like that so much, but I really do. Interesting. And the lovers, some of y'all are in love. Some of y'all are in love. All right, so your overall energy is the decision card, aka the devil card. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. This applies to the whole situation. And that, I think, would come whenever you're working towards something grand or something big or something very important, something that requires the input of so many people, like a wedding or like the sale of a product, or you know, signing a particular deal, like signing a contract. Yeah, it would definitely bring on these feelings of insecurity and anxiety and this lack of self-confidence. So overall, we have been dealing with something where people have been a little shaky, like, are we doing the right thing? Is this the right call to make? Will that be the correct time? Or do we need more of this? Do we need less of that? It's just been a lot of questions, a lot of questioning involved. But with it coming as the overall, and the artwork itself sort of speaks to this, there will be some type of freedom or release from this feeling, this release from this anxiety, release from uncertainty, release from lack of confidence. We're getting back, especially for you, Aries, because many of you don't lack confidence naturally. Some of you might, because, you know, you're a human being and you're complex, but the archetype of Aries is not one that lacks confidence. Aries, you know what I mean? So I feel that there is this coming back to, especially since that was your starting position, the sun, you're coming back to this idea of who you are, what you bring to the table, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and being able to identify all of it. When you're in the devil energy, it's a lot harder to identify these things. You're less reluctant to really speak your skills out into the world, or speak about your accomplishments and be confident, right? So that is dissipating. This also can talk about addictions, obsessions, all kinds of negative things, temptations, but it's a releasing of it. This depiction of the devil is way different than the traditional. The traditional is very, like, you know, dark, and it looks as if the power persists. It looks as if that dynamic is still ongoing. This depiction in the artwork there feels like we're getting away from it. So we're turning down and turning away from that devil energy, and we are having our own rebirth or our own freedom. We're being set free like those doves from that cage, okay? Aries, what a lovely reading. It has been a pleasure. You're the second from last reading for these mids, so it has been a pleasure, because most have been really arduous or really complex, and it's just been a lot. So thank you for having a good reading. If you want to thank me, or if you want to respond to me in any type of way, you can do so by hitting the like button, leaving comments, sharing the video, subscribing to the channel. Do any and all of those things to let me know you had a good time around here, if you appreciated what you saw here today. I, as an announcement, will be going live in August. I've announced this with Leo because I did their birthday message earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, I don't remember. It was Monday, so Monday. I did their reading and I let them know I will be going live for them specifically. I have been doing birthday readings for 1 year, started last year with Leo, so I decided this year I will do the general upload at the beginning of the zodiac season, and then sometime later in the zodiac season I will go live and do readings specifically for the sign. So I tell you, I've told all the other signs I'm going to do this, but it's specifically for Leo. But anybody else, Aries, Libra, Sagittarius, whomever, if you want to stop by, say hi, hang out, that's totally okay. But if you're just like, it has nothing to do with me, I don't even want to be there unless it says Aries, I totally understand, and that's cool as well. Aries, I'm going to see you very soon, probably the next week or the end of this week when I start to do the August readings. I'm going to try and get back on my normal schedule. I'm already technically behind because I usually start Taurus, Gemini at the end of the previous month. So I'm a little bit behind already, but I'll be back soon with your August readings, August mids after that, and maybe a random live for everybody else, but I doubt it, because if it was hard enough to get this shit out, what makes me think I'm going to do a random anytime soon? I gotta work, gotta feed myself, gotta pay these bills, gotta do privates. The time is just not really right there. But we'll see, we'll see. Anyway, I almost called you Libra, I apologize. Aries, thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.